Hello everyone, this is Tessa. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to get a little bit better at putting that timer thing on about the right time. Hi Greg. It's been a very strange day. Now that I have an aide, I have no idea how my day is going to go, and she just came in and took over my household and started moving everything around. And okay, so it's not as cluttered, but I can't find a doggone thing. And then I told her specifically the food was on the counter because my counters are so high I can't reach them and I can't climb. And she put everything away and she put it up high on the high shelves. She's not super tall, so I don't know why she did that. My old aide was super tall. And so I had to tell her today, look, you gotta bring it back down. I can't be climbing. Hi, Dibbers. You're still at work on break, and I get out at 1 a.m., so I probably won't see you, so take care. Well, I'm glad you stopped by and said hi. Have a good night at work. Yeah, 1 a.m., most likely. I'm only going from 9 to 11 Eastern Standard Time, so yeah. I miss some people. I see some people. There's no perfect time, and I can't keep doing those long hours, so yeah. I'm already finding a little bit of, distant, time because I got time to myself to do other things besides constantly sitting in front of this computer. I can do other things. I don't have to sit here all night long. So I'm joining the world of the rest of the normal streamers who only stream for 2 hours at a time. So hope you have a great night at work. Greg, I am one person from 200 now. I couldn't believe it when I looked today. I said, whoa, I got another person. I'm really one person away from 200. I'm slowly getting there. Greg said that's part of the reason why I'm such an introvert and don't like too many people near me. You tell someone, hey, I cannot reach there. And what do stupid humans do? Yeah, and I explained it to her very, very clearly why. And I wasn't watching. I didn't know what she did, and she was gone. And I look at my counter, and everything is off my counter. And I tried finding. She put it in the wrong spot. She put it so high up I couldn't reach it. And then my closet. We won't even get into the closet, but I couldn't find the stuff. I said, "What did you do?" I mean, you moved everything around. That's nice. You made clear spaces where I had clutter. But you piled it all in huge piles that I can't find anything. So I wasn't very happy. And then I find out today, not only do I have this crazy schedule, I never know when she's going to be here, but I just found out today she's planning on taking like 3 weeks to take her mother to back home, which I understand is Haiti. And I don't know if anybody's coming or if that means another 3 weeks I'll be by myself. So I got to call the agency tomorrow and ask the owner, did you make arrangements to take her spot while she's gone? Or am I back on my own again for 2, 3, however many weeks she's gone? I was under the impression I was going to eventually get a schedule, a normal set schedule. And here she's telling me today she's going to be here this stony hour. And then she's not even on the times that they had originally given me. And I'm supposed to be flexible. I have been very flexible, but there is such a thing as, you make up a schedule and then I'm counting on you on those hours and then you change them on me. She's driving me bonkers. I don't know if it's going to work out or not. I mean, I hate to make a decision on just a couple days. I mean, she's not an objectionable person, but she does take things over, and I guess it's part of her job as an aide. She's usually working with people that don't know anything, they're, have mental dementia and this and that, so she would have to be, take control of the whole thing, but I still have a brain, and I still think, and I still happen to like to know what's going on. So I don't know whether the other agency, which may or may not have called, may have been a better idea than this one. But I don't want to make a decision too early. I just want to know, did they plan on replacing her, or am I going to be another 3 weeks or so without an aide? Because that was not in the agreement that we talked about. She kind of glossed over that little part. This is the owner of the agency, not the aide. She left. So she said, can I leave early last night? Because she was there. She took me to the doctors and came back. I said, well, it's fine with me if it's fine with your boss. I don't really need you. So, what does being flexible mean? Not complaining when she's not showing up when she said she would. Obviously, that's what flexible means to them. I said, sure, I could be flexible. And she gives me a schedule. Well, the woman isn't planning on doing that schedule. So I'm trying to scribble down the schedule she's giving me. So I have an idea. Then I get, well, if I decide to go to church, then it'll be a different time. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing to me? I'm almost at the point where I'm regretting it. Like, I was struggling on my own, but I didn't have to deal with another human being and whatever craziness they subscribe to. I'm not exactly happy. And I kind of like being able to get out of bed when I wanted to and not get told she's going to be here at 9 and then she shows up later. So I'm already out of bed when I could have slept later. And then she wants to leave early. And I understand, 4 hours a day. I get 5 days, 4 hours a day, 20 hours. And on some days, she needs to be there the whole time, and some days she doesn't. But this is going to drive me crazy. Yes, I'm still planning on moving to a place where I probably cannot stream. No, I can't stay here even if things work out with the aide, because she's only here for a few hours a day, 5 days a week. I need 24-hour care, which is why I have to go to assisted living. There is a nurse on duty 24 hours. They have their own people that will come and help me get dressed and do their thing. It's just that may not have internet, and I may not have privacy. And if it's more like a place like a nursing home with just a curtain dividing our halves of the room, for example, obviously I can't be doing anything that's making a lot of noise. And I would kind of like privacy. I don't know. I'm hoping to get someplace on my own. Some of these places have separate. It could be a small studio apartment. I don't need a big place. I would just like privacy and my own bathroom. I mean, we have to take our furniture, so it's got to be bigger than what my dad lives in, which isn't big enough to barely hold his chest of drawers and a little closet to hang his clothes in. That's all he's got room for. And that's a nursing home. So it's got to be better than that. But I was told I may have to share with somebody. And if I have to share with somebody, then I have to deal with them and their idiosyncrasies. But no, I still have to move there because I can't be here. I mean, the time she's not around, I have to struggle and do things that I can't very well do. So yeah, it's still in plan. It may be a while. May not get any place for a long time. I don't know for sure how long it's going to take. It could happen right away, and it might take a long time. And that's the other thing driving me crazy is not knowing. And I didn't tell them that I was planning on doing this because they may not give me an aid if I told them. So she doesn't know that I plan on moving. That's a big secret. When it happens, it happens. Because it may not happen for a year. I don't know. I don't know when it's going to happen. But I need an aid, and I'm... So. Heard back from your proofreader yet? I know you didn't the other day. I'm busy working on my story. I'm making myself do it because it's due July 1st to the editor. So unless I want to send a very raw, the beginning's been done probably about 500 times. I need to work on the ending. Still no news. So you can't start the next chapter, right? Because you wait for your chapter to come back from the proofreader. So okay, so you're editing your video. It reminds me, mine should be almost done. I have to finish the posting to YouTube for the last one I just did. I did a couple, and this last one was. This one I had to learn. I had no idea what I was doing, how to cut the video and insert some things. So I don't know how great it is, but I managed to cut it apart and I managed to put things in. But finding the right space to cut it was a little bit difficult. But I'm using the simplest editor out there according to what most people say. It's the simplest one. Because I have a really fancy one I bought, and I can't even figure out how to use that. I'm still struggling with my simple little editor. And what do I need that fancy one for? I don't do anything that fancy. I won't be making videos much longer anyhow, most likely. Same thing goes with videos as goes with streaming. I can't be doing that when... Unless I'm by myself in the video. I mean, I can make a video. That I can do. But I don't know how good their Wi-Fi is for streaming purposes. And I actually cut down my StreamYard back to 23 hours instead of paying $25 a month. So I'm cutting down my hours. There's no sense wasting that money. I won't be able to have all my fancy stuff here. It'll just be the old-fashioned kind with their, their logo on it and nothing fancy, but who cares? Let's see. I can start the next chapter. I just want to get the video done first. I've been procrastinating a lot lately. Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. Today I got an idea which should make chapter 5 a lot better. Cool. I got some ideas on how to do POVs to kind of help with all the repetition I had. So that's what I'm working on now, trying to stretch it out and adding different sections so I won't be repeating myself over and over again in each section. I'm learning slowly. Did you plan on working on your video during sprints, or are I know it's getting close to your bedtime, so I don't know what you were planning on doing. I've got to finish that video, get it finished loading up. I think that's it for the videos for right now. Then back to writing. I did my post on my, because I have more time now, so I did my post on my blog earlier this morning. One, I had to get up early, and two, I have more time since I'm not streaming all the time. I should be able to start reading again, and I want to work on my hand lettering. My hand lettering so far is lousy, but they said it can take years to figure out how, because your hand lettering is not the same as your handwriting, and you have to learn how to draw it. So we'll see. The plan is to edit during sprints. I won't go to bed straight away, as I really want to get this video done before Monday. Okay. Well, then we might as well start sprint 1, because it's been 15 minutes already. They set it to 20 minutes. These 20 minutes seem to fit better than 25-minute ones do. And I will set the timer to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And I'll see you in 20 minutes. Hi, BA. How are you? Haven't seen you around in a while. I just was working on book one still, trying to get it ready for the editor. I got to stop playing around and get it done. But I did a lot of changes to it, so it requires more work because I changed a few things up. So, oh well, I'm working on it now. Stop procrastinating. Anyhow, so that's what I was trying to get things ready. I have to change my insulin pump, and that takes a little bit of time. Got to get all that stuff together. Greg says I managed to do some editing. I can tell this is going to take a long time. When you're video editing, right? If I remember, you said you were video editing. I actually don't believe I could do it, but I finally managed to figure out how to cut the video so I could insert something in it. May not be the best, it may not be cut in the best place, but it takes practice. And that was my first time. I never was able to figure out how to cut it open before I cut the video. So for me, that's a big step. I'm not very good with editing, and so for me, that was a biggie. I was editing actually Megan's video, so she said she can't wait to see it. It's a tag that she had posted, and so I was putting the questions in before each question answer. And so I was trying to cut it in the right place and then put it in. And it took a lot of back and forth. And I think I kind of did a somewhat decent job. It needs practice. I will say that. Oh, this is supposed to be your 256 subscriber special. Now I have 313 subscribers. I guess it is a good problem to have. Yeah, it is. But it kind of puts a damper on your 256 subscriber special when you're so far past it now. I'm glad for you. That's great. I'm one away from 200. Just one. But I know better than to get too excited at 200 because someone's liable to drop off, or two or three, and then I'm back below it again. So I like to be a little bit above it before I get too excited. So I've had that start happening. I didn't want to start working on it before actually having 256 subscribers. Looks like you should have. BA says, I'm doing well. Hope all is going well with you. And working on creating a monthly to-do list for work and all the reports I have to do for next school year. I can only imagine the amount of reports you probably have to do. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what your job is in the school. Megan says, I'm back from dinner, but I have no plans to be productive, though. That's not a problem. I was just explaining how I had to try and figure out how to cut the film and insert, the pages, because I put the questions, I made pages with the questions on it in case they didn't hear it, they can read it, or if they want to stop it, they can stop it and write the question down so that they have it if they want to do the tag. So that's what I was trying to do. And I finally learned how to cut the video and insert something. So I feel pretty good. It may not be perfect, but I did it. I said it's so much time now that I'm only doing 2-hour sprints can do other things in my life. I don't have to spend all of it in front of the computer doing sprints. I did a lot of hours. So it's nice to have time to myself. Maybe I could start reading again too. That would be nice also. Okay, you added it to the playlist, but you haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I hope it's what you're looking for. I mean, I tend to ramble. I lose focus really easy, and I say that on there. I lose focus easy. It's one of my biggest problems. I cannot stay focused on one thing. So I rambled a lot. Yeah, I do a lot of sprinting, but not anymore. I did very good on Tuesday. What's this? Thursday? No, it's Saturday. I did very good on Thursday by keeping it to 2 hours. I don't know how many 20-minute sprints I had, but it's just a few. And then I hit my 2 hour mark and I signed off like a good girl. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Taking it easy, maybe reading. I still have to finish book 1 and get it to the editor. So I do have to do that. But I don't have to rush and do another one if I don't want to. But I can. I did set Nano up to do book 2, but I don't know if I'll do anything or not. Just 20,000 words. I didn't want to make it a big project. So we'll see. Do I feel like making a series or not making a series? Whatever I feel like doing. All right. Time for another sprint. So we got 20 minutes starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Go, my dears, go. All right. I will be back in 20 minutes. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you. We're just finishing up another sprint. And you're going back to your adult sci-fi. Cool. I've got a 20,000 word goal for possibly book 2 or book 3. I have both of them started. Right now I'm planning on book 2 makes more sense since it's in order. I can only imagine what tart it is. And I'm pretty sure you didn't mean tart it. Third try is the charm for this novel, hopefully. I have written mine so many times. I swear I must have started it 500 times. And I keep changing it. So then, of course, I run through another long amount of times running through it. And I change something every time I go through it. Like, I got to stop and either leave it alone, finish it, and leave it alone. I'm one of these people that just keeps going and going and going and keeps finding things to change. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to stop doing that. Megan says, I finished your video. It was so good to hear your perspective. Thanks for doing the tag. You're welcome, Megan. I'm glad you're pleased with it. And I'm glad it turned out pretty good, considering I'm not very good with editing. I mean, everybody has their own perspective and their own. Even if we had the exact same things wrong with us, we'd have a different perspective. Because everybody does. Nobody suffers the same, unfortunately. All right, timer. Got to turn it off. And I wasn't sure how long it was going to end up being. I was afraid it was going to be super long, but I don't think it was that long either. It seemed long editing, doing all that work, all that editing, because that's not easy. And I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, it wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be when it was finally done. It just seemed like forever. Shared it on Twitter. I'm so excited to see everyone's videos. Oh, thank you. Hope you're getting a pretty good amount of people responding. 22 minutes? That's not too bad. It wasn't, I don't think it was quite that long, but I added all those, you know, I cut it and then I just inserted, you know, so many of those tags. I don't know how long those tags, how many minutes those tags added. I wanted to do it that way, and I was hoping it would work out, but I didn't know what I was doing. But it worked. I managed to cut it. I said, okay, it cut, and I see what I was doing, and I was able to add each one in that I had made, so it worked out. You have a couple people who said they get it done next week, so we'll see. Well, I hope they do. I did it a few days ago, but I just was putting it off because I was so afraid of the video editing part of it, the editing part of it. But I had some time today, so I said, okay, you're going to work on this. And it didn't work out as bad as I thought, so it was easier than I thought it was going to be. And you message Savvy from Savvy Writes Books, and she might participate. That's cool. Hi, Melanie. Happy Saturday. I had my aide here today, so it's been weird because I'm not used to having an aide on Saturday. She's coming Sunday, she's coming Monday. Then I won't see her for a while. I was just like, I gotta call the agency tomorrow anyhow. She just told me that she's going away for a few weeks to take her mother back to Haiti. I'm like, they didn't mention this to me. And I think I have an aide, and now she's telling me she's going away. And I don't know if they have somebody lined up to take her place or if I'm back on my own for another few weeks. As it is, her hours are all over the place. All over the place. I don't know if I'm coming or going. Thankfully, I made the streams later because that way if she scheduled a bunch of them for nighttime till 7:30, and I'm like, if it had been my normal time, I'd already be streaming. Yeah, that seems to be the way it goes, Melanie. Let's do something, but let's not tell the person it involves. I mean, that's bad enough. The one that really got me was when they didn't tell me I had to pay for the transportation when I was in rehab, and I got jolted awake. First of all, because I was sleeping. She called me in the morning and says, the rehab center says they told you that you have to pay this bill. What bill? For what? And she's like going on and on. She's got to pay it now. You got to pay it now. Are you getting your credit card? You got to pay it now. I'm like, I wasn't awake. And my daughter says, you should have just told her to send you a bill or something. But it's like, I ended up paying it. And I thought, oh my God, I hope that was true. And that wasn't somebody trying to get my information. Because I was asleep. Don't wake me up. I mean, I'm usually pretty light sleeper, but I was really asleep. And I'm like, and she's shouting at me, are you getting your credit card? I'm like, no, I'm not. Why would I be getting my credit card? Because you owe this bill. They said they told you. I said, well, they didn't tell me nothing. Nobody tells me nothing. Oh, I try not to do that if I can help it, because if I get really mad, you don't want to be the other end of that mad. And, I'm like trying not to get that mad. And, she had all the information. She knew where we went, when we went, the time we went. So I'm figuring she must be telling me the truth about being from the transportation place. But nobody told me that I had to pay it. So they're lucky I had money even in my account. In a normal month, that wouldn't have happened, but I still had money left over from the stimulus that I hadn't spent yet, that I have to pay my phone off with. When the time comes to move, I have to pay the phone off because they're going to want their money for the phone. So if I cut off the service, I have to pay off the phone. And it's like, that money was supposed to be for that. But since I was in the hospital so long, I didn't have to buy food and stuff like that. So there was a little extra money in the account. So they're done now. Don't owe them anything. I got the bill from them because I had to contact them and say, I want a receipt. Believe me, I want a receipt. Yeah, I wanted to be the bigger person. I didn't want to get to that spot because that's not a good place for me to be. If I get that angry, you don't want to be on the other end of it. Nobody can type. I found that out. We all type for a living, but we can't type in chat. It's just not possible. I don't think any of us can. So, and then I got all this nonsense with the aid going on. And the first thing she did was walk into my house and start rearranging it. Well, I need to make it safer. Okay, I can understand getting the boxes out in the middle of my floor. I don't know why you're clearing off my table and now I can't find anything. And then I specifically told her, do not put the food away that's on my counter because I can't reach my counter, my cabinets. And my daughter put it down there so I don't have to try and kill myself climbing up the step stool, which I can't even do when I'm not with a broken foot. And she went, and I didn't know it. I didn't go in the living room, in the kitchen and look. She put all that food away somewhere. I don't even know where. Like, she just started shoving things in my cabinets up top where I can't reach it. I told her this morning, I said, you're going to have to take that food back out. I was out. I told you why it was out. It won't kill you to let the food be on the counter. Honest to God, it's my counter. Laura just watched Loki. I saw the ad for it. I'm not into all that stuff myself personally. Melanie says it was good. It is a headache, Megan. And I haven't had an aid for a long time, and it's hard to get aids right now. So it's like I'm trying to be grateful that I have an aid, but she keeps doing things. And then the woman in charge tells me one thing of hours. She tells me something else. And then plops that thing on me about, oh, I'm going to be gone for a couple of weeks or maybe 3 weeks while I take my mother back to family that can take care of her because I can't do it all by myself. Right. Nobody told me this. I didn't ask her if that meant, I didn't ask her if she was getting replaced. I will call the company tomorrow. Megan says, I have to pop off. This room is too hot to sit in. I'll see you later. Bye, Megan. Thanks for stopping by. Megan says, I'm such a control. Melanie says, I am such a control freak that I could not stand it if somebody came in and moved my stuff around the way they feel would be best to have it organized. Like now, would it be bad enough if she was really organizing it? But her way of doing, which was just as bad as my last aide, she did the same thing. She just started picking everything up and putting it in a pile so that there was space. And it's like, do you know what you just did? I knew where things were. Now I don't know where anything is. And she just did the exact same thing to me that the other one did. Must be the first thing they learn in aid school. Oh, gee. All right, so we have 45 more minutes. So I guess another 20-minute sprint. And I don't know if we'll get another 20-minute one in or not. But let's get another 20-minute start. This is hard trying to keep these on track and do just 2 hours. I'm not used to it. Let me start the timer. 20 minutes, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm trying to get used to these 2-hour things, and I switched the timer to 20 minutes instead of 25 because 25 I think is too long. So like I may have to switch the last one to like a 15-minute or so. Yeah. Rereading the last chapter to see where you can add some magic to the bed. Excuse me. You love how I do my countdowns. No, I don't waste any time. I do them a little different each time, though. That was a little strange. I'm like, what are you doing? But yeah, it gets the job done. I still have a piece at the end to add, and the beginning is kind of, at this point, could probably be okay, and hopefully most of the repetition is most of it, I hope, is out of there now. But I do have to add a piece to the end, and then hopefully that'll be that much closer to being ready for you. So, all right, let me see what I can get done. I'll see you all in 18 minutes. All right. 20 minutes goes fast. I was used to doing 30, and I went down to 25. Now I'm down to 20. And it goes so fast. So, I actually did my nebulizer medicines instead of writing because I need to get them done. And I'm tired, so I don't want to have to stay up. I have a bad habit of falling asleep while I'm doing them, so I figured let me do them now. So I didn't get anything written this time. So, anybody get anything done? Let's see. I'm stuck on how I can add the flashbang top magic to the story. Not really a good fit to take out. It's not, wait a minute. Oh, good fit for the book at this point in the series. There was another piece, and I started reading skipped right over, and read the end of the second one. All right. So it's not really a good fit for the book at this point in the series. I don't know how to help you there. I'm in enough trouble with my own. And I don't read magic, so I'm not really sure about all that. Can't help you, unfortunately. Melanie says I did do a little bit of editing in the last chapter. Then I did some cleaning when I got stuck. Yeah. Scooped the litter box and collected all the trash to take out in the morning. Sounds like me. Greg says I'm working on the thumbnail while another draft of the video is rendering. That's cool. I had already made the thumbnails, so once I got the videos done, I just had to pop the thumbnails in. Now I have one. I'll probably redo the streaming thumbnail to something different because it's been that one for a while. I like the one I got for the video right now. Stay that way. And now they're different. They look a little different, so they don't look exactly all alike. So I got that. So yeah, I do need to do another thumbnail. Time to change it up a little bit. Not sure to what, but change it to something. And then my plan with me is have their own thumbnail too, which is a book in the field and not really a planner, but it's just a book in the field. I mean, maybe I can find a planner or take a picture of my planner and make a thumbnail out of that. I suppose. If I really wanted to. Let's see. Melanie says, out of all my Bredas, only one mentioned that the story needs more magic. So yeah, I think I'm going to save that tidbit for later in the story. Well, I'm trying to think back. I read the story. I can't say that I saw a need for any more magic, but since I don't really read that kind of stuff, I don't know if that's a good amount of magic or not. So I don't know. I mean, everything seemed to flow okay for me. But like I said, I don't read fantasy much, so I really don't know what's expected in fantasy. So it seemed okay to me. Yeah, build up to it. I can't give away my main character's secrets right away. Plus, she herself is still learning what she is capable of. Well, that's true, too, because, yeah. she doesn't know the full extent of what she has at her fingertips, so to speak. uh, Melanie says, I so appreciate your feedback. I purposely wanted betas who don't read the genre to see if the book would be enjoyable by all. My only confusing part was I couldn't figure out if it was supposed to be futuristic or what, because it seemed modern to me. The wording seemed modern, and I didn't know if it was supposed to be in the future, and I would think maybe there would be different terms for things, but it seemed like the terminology for, the different items seemed to be modern, things that I knew about. So that confused me a little bit, but I don't know what you were going for there. Because it can be, I know, contemporary fiction as well as futuristic fiction, and I didn't know what you were planning. So, I mean, other than that, the book was fine for me. And, it went back and forth between the three of them. And, a couple secrets got, let out there in the beginning. So, I thought it was pretty good. And I don't normally read it, so it was something different for me. Okay. Okay, so I'm not the only one who said that. Well, I feel a little better then, because I didn't know whether to say anything or not, but it kind of confused me. I wasn't sure what you were aiming for, because you may have been doing a contemporary piece, and then the words probably would be okay. Asking Greg, did you mean to tag me? I've emailed my book out to 7 or 8 people and got feedback from 3. And Charlie's got some of Greg's to read. When he gets time. He never got time to read mine. Good thing I was not holding my breath. Now we're down to 45 minutes. So we could do a 10-minute sprint. We could do a 15, and then if it runs a few minutes over, it's not a big deal, because I still have unlimited this month. But next month I will have to be very careful. I have to be very careful with my time, because I dropped it back down to free again. Melanie says, oh, wait a minute. I skipped over Greg's. Yes, I emailed the first 3 chapters of my book to 4 people and got feedback from 0. Wow. Melanie said, it's strange how the world is set up. If your family is associated in any way with the king, you have more modern luxuries. If you're lower class, running water and electricity are pretty much non-existent in your home. And that's kind of true even, in our lives. If we have money, then we're going to have a fancier house and all kinds of special things. And those of us that have nothing, or even worse than, there are people a lot worse off than me that have even less. Greg says, I'm not counting Charlie here, as he made it clear he might not have time. Yeah, he did make it. He made it kind of clear to me, too. That's why I didn't get, too excited about whether he did or he didn't. If he did, he did. If he didn't, he didn't. And he didn't. So he didn't let me down because I didn't get, you know, excited that he was going to do it. Melanie says to Greg, oh no, I'm so sorry. If you ever need new betas, I'd be more than happy to help you out. Greg says, do you want to read my book? That would be great. It is sci-fi. Does that suit you? That'd have to be between you two. Very picky about sci-fi. I don't know which I don't like the most. Fantasy or sci-fi. Either one is my big cup of tea. Melanie says she'd love to. I'll be honest, I don't typically read sci-fi, but I've been wanting to give that genre a try. So that would be kind of like what I did for her, because I don't normally read fantasy, but I read it. And I was able to give a little bit of feedback, not knowing a lot about fantasy. I didn't know a lot. But plus, I was in the hospital at the time when I was trying to do that. It wasn't exactly conducive to really writing a full beta report out. I'll read pretty much anything except for erotica and the like. Well, there you go, Greg. Someone, and she does a great job. She read mine, and she did a really great job. So, there's somebody else that can help read through it. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'd offer, but I'm not very big with. And then again, I wasn't with fantasy either. They're just not my cup of tea. I mean, if you wanted to send it to me, I would do my best, but I'm not a super great beta reader. Melanie says I hated Scott at the beginning. I know. I'll always stand by that. But it was fun to see his character development. Yeah, well, he's still an asshole. So I haven't changed that part. He does get better as time goes on. But yes, he definitely starts out as a real asshole. Everybody said that. I hate it, and I didn't have to read any further because I know exactly who they hated. I mean, he's the character made to hate. I mean, he's not a nice person, but he can be, and deep down, you know. Oh, good, yeah. Don't change that about him. He's one of those characters that readers will love to hate and talk about how they love to hate him. Yeah, exactly. It he's still, the beginning is still pretty much the same, and the ending is still pretty much the same. It's just in between that changed a little bit. Rex says, I must say ahead of time, it is a bit niche. It is a translingual book. It all started with a Reddit post. It is all explained here. That's what worries me. If I was to read it, I may not be able to get into it because it's not really my thing. Melanie says, it's awesome, Greg. That's good. It's amazing where we can find inspiration for stories. A lot of my book is kind of real. I mean, I changed a lot and I combined different things, and so I took parts from one person I knew and put them together with parts of another person, and you know, but they were a lot of real incidents in that book, except there were no murders. That was purely made up. But as far as there is a Scott person. Not quite as bad as this one, but bad enough. I wouldn't want him to be my husband. Let's put it that way. Earlier today, I was scrolling through Instagram and someone had to pick up their house's crawl space. Instantly, I knew I had to write a psychological horror story called, you guessed, The Crawl Space. I know, so original. Hey, you know, it makes the point, right? In crawl spaces, I can only imagine what you could find in a crawl space. Good luck with that one. That one will probably be an interesting one to read. I like stories like that. Leaves a lot to the imagination, build up the reader's anticipation. The psychological horror, that's when you're messing with people's minds. I mean, to me, when I think of crawl spaces, the first thing I think of is snakes. A giant snake under my house would be absolutely horrendous. Oh, just took things up a notch. It's a crawl space in an old rundown asylum that's found by ghost hunters after they've trespassed onto the property. Is that your story, Melanie, or is that Greg's story? Because now I'm confused. Melanie says, excellent, I'll get started on it tomorrow. So are we talking about, no, because you're talking about a crawl space, so it's got to be your story. Oh, okay. After I reread it and saw crawl space, I figured, oh, wait a minute, that's yours. Greg's doing his in pieces, so you won't be bombarded with the whole thing at one time. I was supposed to be an art reader. She asked me for my address again. I still don't have it. Same person that sent out an art book before, and it sat in the post office and got returned to her well after the book got actually published. So I just went in and did the reviews, but didn't get it until after after the book had already come out. But I did add my reviews. So I did do that. I did do my part. Now I got another one who's asked me to be an ARC reader. And Kaz asked me twice for my address. And she's the same one who mailed the first batch out of the first book that got messed up. She goes, they just did it. My post office just did the same thing to me, and now I have to redo it again. So she goes, I need your address again. So I still don't have the book. I don't know when that one's coming out, but repeat of the last thing. Greg says to Melanie, that's great. Thanks very much. Could you just check your email to make sure nothing went wrong on the way? I'll tell you what, Brett. You can send it to me. If I find that I can't get into it, I'll let you know so that you don't wait for something that I can't do. If it's not something I can get into and feel that you can go ahead and send it. Well, I'll send you my email. Hold on. Megan McCarthy. Is Megan back? You meant Melanie, I think. Okay. All right. You can send it. I will let you know if what I think, if it's something I can read. I don't want to waste your time if it's not something I can get into. If I can't get into it, then I'm not going to waste your time. But I'll go ahead and try. And I'm not a great beta reader. I'm not experienced, but I'll do my best. And that's my real name, in case you're wondering why it doesn't match. That's my email. And my real name, not my pen name. Are you going to send it, Greg? You haven't really answered me. Melanie's debating if she's ready to lie down for bed. I haven't really napped today, not been up since just before 8. Yeah, me too. I had to get up. Not as early, but because I couldn't sleep, I ended up getting up earlier. All right, it is sent now. Let me make sure. Oh, one new message. Let's see. Okay, first 3 chapters, and it's a PDF. All right. It's a little harder to do with a PDF, but I'll just have to make notations and send you the document. But I got it. I'm pretty sure the PDF will open, so I'm not going to worry about that. Todd and I are going to a baseball game tomorrow. The Indians are playing the Mariners, and we've won 2 out of 3 games for the weekend series so far. Hopefully you can make it 3 in a row. That's cool. Sounds like fun. Yeah, I've got it now. So, well, like we were discussing the other night, if you use Google Docs, you can put comments in there. I'll just have to make comments and send it back to you. That's all. Because with Google Docs, you can highlight what you're talking about and then put the notation in there. Melanie says, I'm going to head off to bed for the night. Take care, you two. See you next time. Good night, Melanie. Thanks for stopping by. And I'll see you later. I had everybody do it in Google Docs. That way they, like say there's a section they could just highlight it and make a comment on it. Google Docs will let you do that. Whereas with the PDF, you can't do nothing with it. Except make a list of, We'll see what goes. We'll see. Like I said, Melanie's really good, and she's an editor, so she's a lot better at doing that kind of stuff. I'm not really experienced as a beta reader. So, yeah, that's what I thought. You said you did to send it to Charlie. Well, it's actually easier. Hi, Amelia. Hi, back. Yeah, we're just getting ready to wrap it up. Nice to see you. You want to send a separate, like you would want to send a separate, because you don't want to send the same one you send to him, because each of us, has different comments. We don't want to be linked together. You don't want the comments to run together. So it would have to be a separate document. If you get time, put it in a Google document. And if you don't, well, I'll just do the best I can. Like I said, I'm not experienced as a beta reader, so not sure how much help I can be, but I will do my best. But no, don't send me the link you sent Charlie. Oh, I guess we're not doing another sprint. It's now a few minutes after 11, so I'm not going to start another sprint. I will say good night. Thank you all for coming. And get myself started on my way to bed. And a few things to do before I get there. Well, you can take your time. You don't have to get it to me right now, because I'm not going to get to it tonight. So if you need to, go ahead and put it into Google Docs and send it tomorrow. You've got my email. I think that's all you need to put in there is my email, and it should send me a notification once it's there. Then again, you're sending a link, so I'm not sure exactly how that part works. I've never done it with a link. I send it to the email, and I'm not sure if it actually has a link or not. We'll figure it out. Bye, Amelia. We'll figure it out. But you don't have to rush at it. No, we're going to bed now anyhow. Well, I know I'm getting ready for bed, and you're even past your bedtime, so I'm sure you're probably ready for bed too. So it doesn't have to be a rush job. Take your time. I can always start reading it and then make notes. Good night, Greg. Thanks for coming, and I will see you guys later. Have a good night, everyone.